Welcome everybody. Now we're doing King's Quest 3. That's right, we're back to King's Quest. This game is dedicated to.
That reminds me.
These are a few members of a few development members of the original King's Quest 1 remake that unfortunately passed away between the time that King's Quest 2 came out and the remakes. I mean, King's Quest 2 remake and this remake came out. So oh well. Anyway.
AGD.
Yeah. So yeah, here's an interesting thing about this remake, unlike the other two remakes. This remake actually was 8 years in development, in secret. AGDI was secretly working on this remake without telling anyone because they didn't want to have pressure from the fans or anything. They just wanted to develop the game at their own pace. As a result, this game came off polished as hell, unlike the first two remakes. So basically, there was only a 1.1 patch, and that's it. The game hasn't been updated since then because it's... Oh, here it is. For us now I curse, and from the first, your family shall feel the worst. Remember this at the end of King's Quest 2? Soon shall you see, this shall be in the most dire jeopardy. So yeah, this is the curse the father placed on Daventry. This is your foe. This will sow the spell to cause your heart to slow. King's Quest 4. And for my shame...
I'm not intimidated in the least by that father.
Are they referencing every King's Quest game aligned?
Yeah. It's aligned per King's Quest game, yes. So for now, we'll go for Soon Shall You See, There Surely Be in the Most Dire Jeopardy.
That's King's Quest
3.
2? 3, okay.
Too hairy.
So yeah, this game, the official... Okay, hold on. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, never mind.
AGD Interactive presents.
Exactly. So, like I was saying, this game was actually... This game was actually 8 years in development, so if I'm not mistaken...
King's Quest 3.
If I'm not mistaken...
Hopefully it will be worth the wait.
If I'm not mistaken, that's probably the longest development time for a fan game. Isn't it? I mean, Jesus.
How long was this?
8 years.
8 years?
Wait,
Pixel
made the cave story in 5 years, so yeah, I think it's the longest time.
When was this remake released?
2011.
2011.
Oh, 2011.
Yeah. The thing is, Jova, but after remaking King's Quest Quest for Glory, AGDI went professional. Basically, they actually became a commercial developer, and they developed a few point-and-click games in which they actually sell and shit. So basically, the free remakes thing became a second priority to them. So this remake was pretty much done on their free time, basically. So
I guess that's why there won't be a fourth remake.
Well, no, actually no. The reason there won't be a fourth remake is because of Activision being asses.
Again, another news, water is wet.
I wonder, what if in this case it may actually be another...
Oh, by the way, allow me to say something. Listen to this music. You know what this reminds me of, too? And Jova? The music of Birth by Sleep. The music of Birth by Sleep.
Dominion.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Yeah,
that too.
Well, then again, I'm not a Kingdom Hearts guy,
I know. But basically, it's very similar to Yoko Shimomura's song. That's all you need to know. Basically...
Anywho, as I was saying, though, maybe it might just be another elaborate plot to hide the making of the fourth remake, just like with how this one was hidden.
So probably, maybe. We'll see. I mean, right now, AGDI is working on their next commercial game, Mage's Initiation, which is a throwback to Quest for Glory. So right now, that's all we know. I'm guessing maybe they're all doing King's Quest 4 in secret, like they did with this one, since the plan for this one definitely would. So yeah, so we start our story with a little baby who was stolen from his cradle.
By Master Xehanort, apparently.
It looks like a Dementor.
Yeah, by an evil wizard.
That reminds me. I meant to ask, is the base version of the 4th, 5th, and 6th games, just as good as the remakes?
There's still no remake for the 4th game.
No. What I'm saying is the 4th through 6th, in their form as is. Would you say they're up to par with the remakes?
Oh, they are.
All the first 3 games.
More like the remakes are on par with
remember, Jova, the first 3 games were remade using the King's Quest 5 engine, so they're up to par with that.
Yeah.
Oh, great then. Well, I sort of also meant, into your story and writing and whatnot.
Oh, that, yeah. I still think King's Quest 2 has I still think King's Quest 2 has the overall better story. It's the most, this one is also very good. King's Quest 5 is one of those. It's kind of cheesy, but it's very enjoyable in that fun riffing kind of way.
I'm guessing there
King's
were
Quest 6
pop references.
of the original King's Quest games made by actually by Sierra. The best one story-wise is King's Quest 6. It's the most it's the more solid.
Gwydion.
I agree.
And 7?
Second would be maybe this one probably.
No, I said in 7.
Oh, 7. Oh, 7. Oh, 7's fine. Like 7 is more Disney in its approach, but it works for what it was trying to do. It actually has some of the funniest comic relief in the series.
And then King's Quest 8 happened.
We don't talk about that game.
Yeah.
Until the commentary.
Anyway, basically,
King's Quest 3, aka Roberta Williams' downfall.
Anyway, basically, this is the baby who was stolen, and so now we skip to 17 years later. So now he's.
Are we still playing as King Graham?
No. In this game, we play as a new protagonist.
Okay.
But don't worry. Eventually, But don't worry. Eventually, by the time we finish this game, you'll see exactly how does this fit into the whole King's Quest timeline.
Which apparently has been transported to Mealy Island.
This island is called Ludor. Oh, look what he found there. Someone.
Hello there.
Someone in a cave and is calling
for us. What are those
us.
creatures called in Star Wars Episode 4 that try and steal
Javas.
Yeah, that.
I cannot do that.
Actually, okay. And now there's this. Okay, so that's okay. So I'm guessing that's a clue. Our clue for that is the place we should go to, I guess. Okay, so here's the wizard that abducted us. His name is Manannan.
What are you doing? Boy?
Oh, and guess what, Dwibs? He's voiced by John Bell, the narrator.
Oh.
I can tell.
I was just looking.
The sorcerer?
Yeah, this is more like a wizard. The official term and the game uses is a
My
wizard.
creepy long finger pointing at you shows how I'm serious.
But is he like the same wizard from the first 2 games?
No. This is a different wizard.
No.
Remember, Joe, but the wizard from the first 2 games was threatened by Graham to leave and shit.
I know. But hey, this could be him. I'm guessing this is
No,
a
it's
different
not.
one.
I can assure you it's not. First of all, he has a longer beard. And,
So, he could have gotten older.
trust me, Joe, by the time we end this game, you'll see that it's definitely not the same one.
Indeed.
This should be interesting.
First of all,
For now, I remain skeptical.
First of all, this wizard only likes cats and chickens as their pets, not anything else.
Yep.
So...
Keep that in mind.
Grabs, okay, Jova, who are we gonna believe? Me, the guy who grew up with King's Quest, or you, the guy who hasn't even barely played the King's Quest game? Let's trust my opinion.
Way,
How about that?
Pedro is not even making assumptions.
Pedro, I'm not asking anyone to believe me.
All right, let's.
Hey,
Okay,
Pedro, I'm not trying to get anyone to believe me. I'm saying that I'm skeptical that maybe that is the same wizard.
Okay,
I haven't seen
I have
anything.
to be honest, I don't like this menu interface.
Oh, you don't like? It's the same one. It's just a different.
No, I mean the graphic style of this menu interface. It reminds me of live-action Zelda CDI game.
It works just as well.
Wizard looks at you menacing.
Okay.
My chamber pot is full. Empty at
Basically, he abducted me to make me his slave.
So we are playing as a sorcerer's apprentice. Get it?
Well, honestly, Teo, it's just a visual aesthetic difference, so it doesn't really matter. But
No, I was talking about something else now.
okay, fine. Well, the point is, yeah.
Really, Pedro? You didn't get that reference?
Sorry, I must have.
We are playing as a sorcerer's apprentice. So.
I was distracted.
Come on, Pedro!
Well, sorry, I was distracted. Jesus. Excuse me.
But how do you miss one of the most obvious references of all time?
Open window.
And you call yourselves a King's Quest fan. I am so disappointed.
Sure, Jova.
Jova, you're very unforgiving.
Anyway,
I was making a oh, never mind.
Anyway,
Anywho, go on, Pedro.
Basically, we got abducted by this wizard because he wanted to make a slave out of us. So that's what we are. Basically, Dwebs, the reason he appeared was, and basically, Dwebs, a lot of times this wizard is very strict. Literally, if we do a single thing that he may think we're like trying to rebel against him or something like that, he will burn us on the spot. Like he will kill us on the spot. So literally, so basically, while playing this game, you have to literally be on your best behavior to not piss the wizard off. Otherwise, he will kill you because you're more trouble than you're worth. So it really creates a sense of tension that like you really
you take the table and carry it with you.
So let me guess, you kidnapped this particular child because of a prophecy.
No, well, actually, no. Again, Jova, we'll eventually see.
Take the bastard wizard and take him with you.
Okay, basically, one of the best ways to keep the wizards happy is to do our chores, including cleaning the kitchen.
This isn't going to be the whole game, is it?
No, don't worry. Don't worry, we're going somewhere with this, We're going somewhere with this. Not to mention, we have a plan.
Leaves, you've been confused with reason. Where one of the most exciting tasks is to clean the floor.
But basically, by the way, a little bit of history on the original game. When the original game came out in 1986, fans were confused. Like, where's King Graham? Where's Valenice? I mean, eventually, when we do finish this game, we'll see exactly what exactly this has to do with King's Quest.
I wonder if this is King Graham's son or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't know? But I thought you'd play this game, Teo.
If I have to be honest, this is one of the King's Quest games I have the least memories of. Because I played all of them basically when I was very young and my PC was still sounding like a fucking microwave.
King's Quest 3 house cleaning.
In fact, funny story. Hold on.
Evil glare.
Oh, come on.
Basically, he's checking up on us. If we have anything that he might think we're, scheming, he will kill us.
Yeah.
Hold on, Teo.
Behind it.
Sure.
That's what we found here.
With cracks.
Huh.
You can see why Manannan would hang such a tapestry here. There are also dozens of charcoal drawings, diagrams, maps, and notes to programmers with the legend of King's Quest 4. But you're uninterested in this, since you presently have your hands full with King's Quest 3.
The fourth wall cracks a bit.
You lower the tapestry.
Okay,
and
I'm
smooth out the
convinced.
wrinkles.
What?
I think that this kid is King Graham's son.
Indeed.
I mean, seriously, he looks a bit like him as well.
Well, yeah, you called it. Yeah, this is actually King Graham's son.
Hey, Pedro, you give some very unimaginative names to your save files. One.
Actually, Dweebs, it's the most efficient way how to do in these kind of games.
Yeah, basically, well, it depends. Like when I'm making multiple saves, when I'm playing.
Unless you're Ross from Steam Train.
When I'm making multiple save files, when I'm playing the game for the first time, I'm doing multiple save files, and I always give the save files a name that's very clear of what the save file is. But I already know this game. Like I don't need multiple saves, so I'll just name it whatever and just keep going. But later on, Dwebs, I'm actually going to create a second save file with an actual specific name. So there's that.
Anyway, the funny story is I actually started to gaining
just
back,
give me a moment, Theo. I need to explain this.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, you might have noticed how I just infiltrated into the wizard's bedroom and stole some of his shit. Well, if he catches me with those things, he will burn me right there and then. So I have to hide my shit under my bed.
And apparently they will be safe, as the narrator says.
Yeah, they will be safe from the wizard's prying eyes, as he said. So yeah, I'm basically I'm forming a plan to escape all of this, but I have to be careful. So yeah, there's a real sense of tension because you really have to be careful about what you're doing.
What's with the timer now?
Oh, the timer. Hold on, I'll explain the timer when it actually comes into play. Let's save.
Anyway, basically, I'm interested with this. Not interested, but I started remembering, the series because I wasn't really attached to it as a kid. It was something I just played with, like one of those educational games I had still when I was a kid. But it was King's Quest, so it was different.
All right, so Manannan just told us that he wants to take. He's going away for a while. So, and now you
That
notice
sounds like our
Pick
cue
up
to
the
set
dead
things
fly
up.
and
exactly. You
drop it
notice that the
into your
timer is
hand.
green.
Disgustedly,
Okay,
you look at
so
it.
so here's how the timer works.
Picking off its wings, you throw the rest away.
All right, you might wonder why I pricked off its wings. It will become obvious eventually. But the point is, okay,
Part
so
of a potion.
exactly. So the time is green, right? That means that right now I'm perfectly safe to do whatever. However, eventually the timer, after a few minutes pass, the timer will become changed to yellow, and we'll get an exclamation point too. Eventually,
Dropping to your hands
like
and knees,
around
you
2
reach
minutes later, it
under
will
the bed
eventually
and
change
retrieve all of
into
your
the color red
possessions.
with 3 exclamation points, and that's basically your cue for the fact that Manannan is almost back. So basically, if I'm not home with all my stolen shit hidden, and if Manannan finds anything out of place, he will kill me right there and then. So basically, I
How
have
long
to.
do you have
Search the
again?
pockets of the black cloak.
It doesn't matter. The
Discover
color,
a small
the timer is
brass
color
key.
coded for our
What
convenience.
could it unlock?
Like I don't know the exact time, but
search
basically,
behind the clothes hanging in the
if
wizard's
you just
closet,
focus on the
You're
colors,
startled to
that's all you
discover
need to
an
do.
ancient
So,
parchment
so as
scroll.
soon as it
Its
becomes a
ink
certain
faded,
color,
but
that
it
means
seems
he'll
to be a
arrive
map.
there.
Taking his
yeah.
place
He's
and
about
leave
to arrive.
everything else
Yeah,
exactly
when it
as
becomes red.
was.
Exactly.
Okay, so we just found what looks like to be a map on his closet. Let's see what this is.
Gotta speed up.
Gotta go fast. Anyway, well, let's just see the map first.
Oh, that. I'm actually checking the drawers again to see if there's anything I missed. Just give me a moment.
Gotta
Your
get
breath
faster,
smells
faster.
fine.
Oh,
So far,
I guess
you're
that's a reference to
allergen-free.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah, it is.
Your breath
To
smells
explain,
fine.
Jova, in Lizard Suit Larry, basically you have to constantly put,
You don't have a problem with
you have to cure bad breath by spraying your throat.
Yeah. I was trying to open the drawer behind the quote, but apparently it's not an option. So let's go. Okay,
Quickly,
so
before the timer turns red.
it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before it turns to red. The game is unlike the original game. This game is much more forgiving with the timer.
Yeah, I have to say, that thing I remember, yeah, it's a bit more forgiving, at least for now.
Oh yeah, in the original game, Manannan only leaves the house for a total of 3 times. So you have to, at the very least, stop get
Pinpoint precision.
rid of the wizard in that time. If you don't, you're boned.
Oh, you're gonna get rid of him.
Again, you search the contents of the drawer.
Oh, I love this one. I love the one.
Interesting.
Basically, I'm going to search the drawer various times. You'll see why.
Persistent, aren't you? Upon closer examination of the contents of the
There you go.
desk,
My
you
persistence
find
was
a letter.
rewarded.
You remove it and take it with you.
All right,
Okay.
so let's see what this letter is. It's, my dear Manannan, it saddens me to learn that no word of your sister Agatha, has reached of you. We can but hope
Oh.
she is well and idle somewhere, to do as she pleases, to whoever she pleases. My own sister is well, and thank you for asking. She was taken with you once before you grew that excessive beard, and insisted that you were a handsome man in your day. I can only imagine. Is your servant performing as adequately as the last? You certainly picked them, don't you? Rumor has it that the father had a particular say in this latest slave. I see. Okay, I'm really quite envious. Then again, you named them all Gwydion, so what does it matter where they come from? The way they meet their all in at their 18th birthdays. Okay, here it is. Here's the thing. You're such a poetic dear. Basically, Manannan is always recruiting slaves and calling them Gwydion, and he always kills them when they reach 18 years old. Why? We'll eventually get an explanation for that.
Okay.
So basically, that's why in the original, I have a time. That's why we in the original we have a time limit, and Manannan only leaves 3 times. So and by the time he comes back the 3rd time, we already 18, so we're dead.
On the other side of the letter.
But in here, yeah, okay. In matters of the faith, my response is it has always been: we must continue to do what we can to usurp control from the unfaithful, so that the world may be prepared for the great day. For my part, I have plans to rid this realm of my enemy. Being so predictable and obviously innocent, she will make easy prey. The time comes soon, Manannan. In the father we trust. L. P.S. You really shouldn't keep cats around. P.S. You really shouldn't keep cats around the house. Steeds make for much better pets.
So that guy from Code Geass is the enemy.
Actually, Teo, I'm guessing you know who L is.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna spoil it yet.
Don't worry, guys.
L from.
Don't worry, guys. It's a
No, it's not L from Death Note.
King's Quest 4 reference. Don't worry. Just don't bother. But basically, this is foreshadowing for the 4th game. Just think of it like that.
Yep.
Pardon me for a
Anyway,
moment. I
sure.
need to get something.
Again, as I was trying to say before, yeah, again, these games, I didn't thought that these games were much of a big deal when I was a kid. But then I started regaining interest in when, practically when John Tron reviewed King's Quest V, it reminded me of that, you know, and I started to coming back to that, not literally, you know, just remembering it. And now, seeing these remakes made with so much passion, you know, and detail, reminds me when I played that as a kid, you know.
Yeah. Okay, you might notice, Theo, how that puzzle that I just found was not in the original game. Basically, in this game, we have to actually manage to solve the puzzles before we can get into the wizard's basement. So...
Oh, okay. It adds a bit more challenge.
Since I actually like the chickens, let's free them before we leave.
Yay!
Oh, by the way, I love the working music. Oh, by the way, Dweb, since you... Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot. I'm actually going to pluck a feather from...
You pick up the chicken. You gently pluck a feather from
Snap
the
her
chicken
neck.
and gently set it back on the ground.
Thank you, chicken. Actually, Dwebs, we actually...
You like a chicken.
Actually, Dwebs, we're actually gonna hear these chickens talk because we're gonna get ourselves a spell that allows us to understand animals.
Great.
Oh, by the way, Dwebs, I'm sure you'll love this one, Dwebs, that I'm about to do. But
An
well done.
eagle sits in its nest, tilting its head as it eyes you warily.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, this is where I do it. Yeah, I'm gonna save now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you let's not talk to you. Let's let Dwebs listen so he can detect what reference this is.
Watch your step.
And yes, Brandon Bloom, the composer, confirmed it in AGDI's forum. Yes, that was a reference to the Inspector Gadget theme. That was cool. It's used as one of the humorous deaf songs. Particularly
Is there a da-da-da-da-da?
No. This one has a different.
Sadly.
This one has a different composer than the one in King's Quest 2. So.
Oh, okay. Where are you going, young man?
So basically, we're exploring the. Oh, by the way, we're about to get some of my favorite characters in the. Oh, not these. I forgot about those.
No, definitely
Basically,
not.
just like the wizard in the first two games, sometimes these thugs will come out and try to rob me. But
Also, is it me or does the narrator sound a lot more evil in this game?
Well, this game came out 8 years later, so I'm guessing. But at this point, John Bell was aged, so
Actually,
maybe...
I think didn't John Bell do his narration stuff in like 2009 or so?
I don't know.
I think they added the narration in the late 2000s.
No, that's the first two remakes to it. So this remake was already made with narration from the get-go. At least it always had narration when it was released, at least. Oh, here it is. Oh, look, the free bears.
Oh.
Oh, I love the dialogue. Hold on.
Hurry along there, Mildred.
Yes, George.
My button's not done up!
Button? Haven't you taught him anything, Mildred?
It's a bit difficult for him, George.
King's Quest 3 in the dysfunctional bear family.
Yep.
Well, there's dysfunctional and then there's that.
Gee, I wonder what's gonna happen with these free porridges.
There are bowls of porridge on the table.
Let's try this one.
You taste the porridge and decide that this bowl of porridge is
too hot.
Too hot. Too cold.
Just
Ha.
right.
Oh.
So you take it with you.
Yeah, the one in the middle is the... Yeah.
What about the other one?
It was too cold, you know,
cold.
remember. Goldilocks took the things from Baby
I know the
Bear.
poem, but I thought the other one was going to be something different.
You closely examine the contents of the drawer.
So yeah, stealing from the bear family.
Your clothes may be in need of repair, but you hardly have the time to worry about such things.
Alright, so I guess I won't take the needle.
You pick up the thimble.
Alright, I'll take the thimble.
Okay.
There is nothing.
Alright, if there's
Okay.
nothing. We'll just close the drawer before leaving. So let's go. Oh, okay.
Oops.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nope.
I was pointing in the...
I can't decide whether I want to leave.
Okay, so now we have a thimble. Let's
Holding the silver thimble beneath a dew-filled flower, you gently tip the flower so its dew runs into the thimble. You move from flower to flower, repeating the process until your thimble is brimming with dew.
All right.
Okay.
We got ourselves some dew.
Dew.
Nice.
Oh, Jova, you missed the dysfunctional free bears. Basically, in a reference to the free bears story, Jova, we saw Papa Bear go. We saw Baby Bear go. Mama, my button's not done up. But have you taught him anything, Mildred? It's a bit difficult for him, George.
Wait, George and Mildred? That's the name of an old comedy show, isn't it?
I'm guessing it's a reference, maybe.
Oh my god, I called something.
Considering how AGDI loves to stuff pop culture references in their games, I wouldn't be surprised at least in the bit.
Referencing pop culture stuff, because that always works out.
I think the ones in these games are fine.
I think it depends on how well it's done. If it's like this, it's fine, but if it's like, from what I hear, how Hoodwink 2 does it, then...
Yeah.
Whatever.
It basically boils down to the line of when it's dated and when it's always a classic.
Okay, basically, Jova, we're traveling through Ludor to try to see if we can... Ooh. Basically, we're trying... Basically, Jova, while you were gone, we found something in Manannan's library that's basically a puzzle thing with levers. But we don't really know the solution to it yet, so I guess we'll just explore the city and see what we find. Meanwhile, the map we found on Manannan's closet is actually a magic map.
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
Oh, by the way, listen to this, Theo. Actually, I'm not going to teleport yet. Oh, okay. Basically, by the way, Theo, when I use the magic map, be sure to pay attention to what the narrator says when I use the map.
Sure.
Okay. So basically, Jova, we're searching for a way to solve that puzzle so we can get into the wizard's basement, because there's something suspicious about his basement. So basically, exploring, seeing what we can find.
You pick and poke among the fallen acorns.
I love the way he says that. You pick and poke.
You eventually find 3 dried acorns and take them with you.
Okay.
Nice.
Leave burying acorns to the squirrels or their ancestors.
Ice Age reference?
Possibly.
You don't want to go reaching into holes.
Okay, the reason I'm investigating this hole is because, as we know from King's Quest lore, it's a good idea to inspect holes, but in this one, it's too dark to see. Okay, I guess we'll come back to this later then.
Yeah.
Alright, let's keep going.
Dun, 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 dun,
oh, look at that.
Days. They're all the same. I have no plans. My life's a shame.
Is this David Cage?
Little I know. Should I care? I've nothing to
Hey,
show.
look! That song summoned Shiroi online.
I'll tell her to wait 3 minutes.
Yeah, David Cage has no plans.
I'm guessing you recognize that character too.
Yep.
All right.
A bit.
David Cage, yeah, he doesn't plan his stories. That's why they're convoluted and make no sense.
Anyway,
What are we talking?
There's a hole in this rock.
The hole is deep, much longer
Aside
than
from
the
just
rock.
him.
There appears to be a glass bottle at the bottom.
Okay.
All right. See, my plan worked, Jova.
Of course it did.
Okay. So yeah,
So let's get back to the desert.
exploring the desert because, well, gotta explore something.
Gotta explore fast. Gotta explore
Yeah, where's
fast. Gotta explore faster, explore faster.
Oh, look at that.
Where's the Roadrunner when you need him? When Dwib said that.
One of the cool things about
You
the
retrieve
King's
the
Quest
dried
5 graphics engine is
snakeskin
that
from the hot
since
sand,
the backgrounds are
it's
hand painted,
easy to
it's very easy to tell what you can interact with because there's sprites on a painted
Wait,
background.
what happens if you get lost?
There's no way to get lost in this game, Dwiz, because if you go too far in the desert, the game will turn you back.
Hey, I'm guessing that if you run out of time while you're out here, the wizard eventually just warps to where you are.
Yeah, he does.
Pieces if you're careless with it.
Basically,
How does he... Let me guess, tracking spell.
magic.
You don't have to explain it.
It's the tracking spell.
I'm guessing he basically warps everywhere in Ludor until he finds me. He does a trial and error thing, I guess.
I suppose. Oh.
Ooh, what do we look at? Oh, by the way, Theo, I'm guessing you remember the Medusa moment from King's Quest 3?
Yeah.
Well, in here, AGDI took their whole spin on it, making it a lot more interesting.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right, so, ooh, there she is. And no, before you ask, no, she's not played by Uma Thurman.
I wasn't gonna ask. I was actually thinking of Laura Bailey.
Laura Bailey.
For some
Oh, right.
reason,
Oh, no, actually, no, she played Cloud of Darkness, not, okay.
Is she kind of like Medusa?
She's the classic Medusa mythological being. There's nothing really.
Snake body, half snake, half woman with snakes in her hair. You know.
No. Tio. That's a Naga. Medusa is the woman with snakes for hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you know your mythology, Medusa was betrayed by the man she loved. So she basically started hating men in general. So again, being faithful
before
to them.
stoning them.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay, so in the next part we face Medusa. See ya as soon as a few seconds from now, actually. First I have to save, I guess. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, in the next part we face Medusa. See you then.
See ya.